Alright, this is my full guide to how to talk to anyone. This is going to be you after the video, so I'm not going to waste your time. This video is going to be pure education, so let's just get straight into it. So, social anxiety. I think we can all relate to this. You're at a party, you're just there doing nothing while everyone else is talking. This actually happened to me just a few days ago. Like, I was at this graduation party and I basically knew nobody there. It was for this girl that our parents were friends like when we were like 5 years old, so we'd go on like beach trips together, but I hadn't seen her in like 7, 8 years. So I was just there. I knew no one, and I thought I'd gotten a lot better at talking to people, and I definitely have, but I realized that it's a skill that you need to keep working on or else you lose it over time. So before the party, I was like, yeah, whatever, like maybe I'll talk to some people. Bro, I literally first I ate some food and like I walked around and everyone was talking, and then I literally just started like playing their piano by myself. Like, I think I was literally at a graduation party and I started playing the piano by myself in this corner. And then this another kid came up to me and he was like, "Oh, why are you playing piano by yourself?" And I was like, "Yeah, you always got to practice." And then he was like also really awkward too, so he like couldn't make eye contact with me. And then we just had this weird conversation where we're just asking, "Yeah, so you practice a lot?" "Yeah, man, I only practice like 30 minutes a week, but yeah, I have this recital coming up." And yeah, that's when I realized that this skill that I had worked on for a while, and it's been degrading over that time. So yeah, this is why I'm making this video, because I want to get better. I was really good at this. Like last year, I remember I had this prom for my school, and it's unlike me, but I was going up to like every single person, introducing myself, and I made this song parody for my calculus class, and I literally like performed that like with a few other friends in front of like the whole prom. I mean, I have a video, it's kind of cringe, but like looking back, I don't regret it because it's just something that I did to feel more confident. And my friend is like, "Man, I wish I didn't do that." But I told him, like, come on, like, are you gonna be 60 years old and think like, "Man, like when I was 17 years old, I wish I never performed that calculus rap song in front of everyone"? Like, no, you're gonna think of that as a cool memory. So social anxiety, it's a skill. Or not social anxiety, talking to people is a skill, but even the best, most socially adept people they still get it. It's just something you can't avoid, but there are ways you can practice minimizing it. So after this guide, you're going to be able to reduce your nerves by 10 times. I'm going to give you the secret, or my way of starting a conversation and continuing it with anyone. You're going to have better mental health because talking to people, you just feel better and are happier. And you're going to have more friends because you're going to make more friends by being able to go up to people. So let's get to step 0. And this is your mentality. This is the baseline. This is what you need to get down before you start any of this. And the basic mentality is, who cares? Like, who gives a crap? Like, you can go up to someone and say the weirdest thing ever, and they think of you as a weirdo, and they literally run away and go home and be like, "Yeah, this dude was so weird, he came out to me." And like, okay, but that's practice. Like, who cares? You need to get this into your mind. Like, okay, that happened. Now what? Is your whole life ruined? Is that person gonna keep coming up in your life and be like, "I remember that time you talked to me?" And like, maybe. But like, also, if that even happens, who cares? You need to build the mental toughness to be able to think of that scenario and be like, yeah, but that was just practice. Like, if that person really kept it like coming up to you and be like, "Why did you talk to me like that?" Like, that just shows something about them. Like, they have some issue or something. They need attention from other people and from you. That's the most interesting thing that's happened in their life. But chances are that's not going to happen. If you go up to some random person and you fail, and you literally slip on a banana peel and hit your head, and I don't know, some weird thing happens, that person is not gonna care in like a week. And maybe they will. Maybe that'll be a funny story for their family, but like, who cares? You, as a person, practicing your social skills, that's the necessary steps you need to go to. And that can also become a story for you to tell once you become good at talking to people socially. It can be like, yeah, so remember that time, or you're telling people like, yeah, there was this time I went up to this dude, and then like there's a banana peel and I slipped on the floor and I slipped and ran away, and like that's a funny story. So just have the mentality of who cares, because this is all practice. You need to, this is something that works for me. You need to have like an excuse in your head as to why you're doing this. So if someone, your friend, you're like asks you like, why'd you go up to that person, that was so weird, and you'd be like, nah, I'm just like practicing my social skills, or nah, someone dared me to do it. Now it's not as bad because you have this obnoxious excuse in your head that's like a reason why you did that thing. So that's the mentality. That's the first thing you need to get down. Now let's move on to the next step. This is preparation, so actually preparing to go talk to someone. So let's say you're at a party, you're at a graduation party like I was, and you see someone, or maybe like a few people, and you decide, hey, I'm gonna go practice my social skills right now, and I'm gonna go talk to them. So the first thing you need to do is actually find someone. Once you find your target, I'd say, but that kind of sounds weird. Now, excuse me. First thing you need to do is calm yourself down. So there's this thing called the cyclic sigh, and it's a breathing method that, I don't know the exact science behind it, but it calms down your nervous system after like just one breath. So basically what you need to do is you need to inhale through your nose and push out your stomach to like 60% like inhale, so until your stomach is full. And then once your stomach is full, then you inhale like super fast to inhale all the air into the rest of your lungs. So it's like a two-step process. So you inhale through your stomach and then through your lungs, and then you like do a slow release like through your nose or through your mouth, doesn't really matter. Just make it last for like 5-10 seconds release. So I'll do one for you right now. And yeah, you just feel so much more relaxed after that. It's actually crazy. Like, you should try it right now. So once you're relaxed, next thing you can do is a visualization. So maybe not like exactly in the moment, like right before, but you could anyway. Actually, right before you're about to go speak to them, take like 10-20 seconds to just visualize how you want it to go. So like visualize you walking up to them, introducing yourself, and you're feeling confident. You have a smile on your face, and they're actually reciprocating. They're actually smiling. They turn to face towards you, and they're like laughing at your jokes or questions, and just visualize it going extremely well, because that's going to put you, also relating to step 0, that's going to put you in the mindset of having this mentality that, yes, I'm a socially confident person. I'm confident I can talk to anyone. Yeah, that's the thing for visualization. And the most important step, this is probably the hardest step of the whole guide to how to talk to anyone. It's to just shut off your brain and walk towards them. That's it. Like, don't overthink. All right, now I'll go over there in 5 minutes. First I need to get this drink, so then I have a drink so I look cool when I have the drink, and then I'll walk over again. Then like that's just making you less confident, more nervous, and you have more chance of failing. I'm not saying if you wait then your chances are just gone, and if you do go talk to them then you're automatically going to fail. Obviously not. But why would you want to make yourself more nervous than you should be? All you need to do, find someone, you're like, okay, I'm going to talk to that person. You take your deep breath, do a 5-10 second visualization of them smiling at you and you feeling super confident, and then you just go off, turn your brain off, and walk towards them. That's it. So that's step 1, preparation. Now step 2. conversation. This is how to actually talk to someone and carry a conversation. So once you go up to them, you just this is a line you can use. You can say like, "Hey, I don't think I've met you before. What's your name?" And then you hold out your hand for a handshake. And then, they give you their name, they ask you your name, and you say, "Oh yeah, my name is Jack," or something. And then you just ask literally a brain dead question, like the stupidest thing. Like, it doesn't have to be like, "So what are the quantum physics of this electron?" Like, obviously don't do that. Just something relating to the party, maybe, or wherever you're at. Maybe like, "Yeah, so did you enjoy the food here?" Or like, you can comment about something like on their shirt, and it's like, "Oh, that's a cool shirt. Like, you like Star Wars or something?" And literally, just, it doesn't even matter what you ask. This is the most important step. It's the icebreaker. It's how you're actually gonna get into a good conversation. So a lot of people try to find like the perfect line. They're like, "All right, let me calculate exactly what I'm gonna say." And I do this sometimes, and it can work, but ultimately, like, you just need to let your brain do the work. Just find something about the scenario. Like, you can say literally anything. Like, I remember I was at the gym and I was in the sauna, and this dude walked in, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna practice my social skills right now." So I literally said like, "It's hot in here." So I was like, "It's not that hot in here, is it?" Like something like that, because like the thermostat was like kind of lower, and he was like, "Yeah, it's usually hotter." And then we got into a nice conversation, and this dude was like, I think he said he was like 36 or something, and I'm like, I'm half his age, like literally exactly half his age. So it's just proof that you can say anything. And it's more, you've heard this before, but it's more about how you say it, not what you say. So if I said it like, is it hot, it's hot in here, right? Like, that's the same sentence, but I said it in just a terrible way, and now he's gonna think I'm a weirdo. So you can literally say whatever you want. You need to turn off your filter, say whatever comes to mind, say it in a confident way. And if you say it in a confident way, it's not cringe or embarrassing. It's all about how you say things. So once you ask the first brain dead question and they start yapping about whatever, "Yeah, Star Wars this, Star Wars that, blah blah blah," now you keep asking brain dead questions. Like, and this is something that I recently incorporated. I have like a list of first questions to ask when meeting something new. So I think these can be stupid, like, "What are your thoughts on oatmeal?" or "Do you like coffee or tea?" And then you go off on a like tangent about that topic. This part, you can't plan out an entire conversation. You need to let your brain kind of like freestyle. Like, you know how rappers, they freestyle? That's kind of like a conversation. You need to expand off of the topics you talk about. So let's say like I ask someone, "Hey, do you like coffee or tea?" They're like, "Oh, I'm a coffee drinker." And then you can be like, "Oh, so you're addicted to Starbucks or something." And then that's like a joke. And if they're kind of feeling the conversation, then they'll start laughing and be like, "No, I'm not addicted." And then you can like keep pushing that narrative and then keep going in different directions. And then once the conversation comes to a stop, then you can ask another brain dead question. So like, "So what kind of pets do you have?" or "You like dogs or cats?" or something. And then you can keep building off and creating new branches of the conversation. Like, that's the mindset you need to have. So keep asking brain dead questions, and make sure that you're looking at them, having eye contact, and paying attention to them. So this is the part that's gonna make them like you more and have a better chance of them wanting to be your friend, or just coming off a lot more confident. Because if you're asking these questions but you're looking off into Narnia or something, they're not going to feel connected with you, and you're not going to feel connected with them either. So make sure you're literally like staring at them straight in the eye. You should be staring in their eyes for like 90% of the conversation. This goes against what like other people say. I think they say like 60% of them time you make eye contact, 40% you're looking away. I disagree. I think you should be staring into the eyes for most of the conversation, because this sets you apart from every other person, because no one these days can keep eye contact. Literally no one. When I talk to people, most of them can't keep eye contact with me. And I kind of think of it as a game. I'm like, yeah, like I'm that person who can just keep eye contact and pay attention to someone and like stare at them for the whole time. It's kind of weird, but that's just something I've practiced. Like I practiced the skill of eye contact in this like street, staring at people. And that might not be a good idea if you're like in a dangerous city or something, but I think I'm in a relatively safe place. But that's like, I literally practice eye contact with random people in the street. I looked at them until they looked away. That's it. And now I can keep eye contact with pretty much anyone. So that's eye contact and attention. Again, make sure you're breathing fully. You can do the cyclic sigh we learned before. You don't have to do it super loud. They're like, yes, I'm more of a coffee person. And they're like, what the hell was that? And you're like, oh, I'm just practicing my cyclic sigh, but keep going. Like, that might even work. Like, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So if that's the thing that comes to mind, sure, by all means do that. So yeah, then you just repeat the thing. So ask another brain dead question, like, yeah, this to keep the conversation going and not having awkward silence. Just keep asking questions, no matter how stupid it is. Like, I remember at the party I was talking about, there was like a silence, and I wasn't used to asking these questions because this is the skill I haven't practiced for a while because I've been focused on school lately. So my conversation skills kind of plummeted. So she was the one, the girls' grad party I was at, she was the one kind of carrying the conversation, asking me questions. And then I wasn't even like, I was kind of tired, so I was just giving like one-line responses. And now that I think back, I'm like, damn, like I could have made that conversation a lot better by asking more brain-dead questions, keeping more eye contact, paying more attention, being more engaged. But it's all practice. Even the best speakers, best interaction people, they also slip up sometimes and get nervous. No one's perfect. So that's the conversation. And this is step 3. People say not to, this is analyze your mistakes. So people say not to dwell on your mistakes, or like if you make a mistake, like it's okay. And it is. But there's always, you should be able to do everything you can to improve. So conversing is a skill. Everything in life is a skill. So after the conversation, like, this is what I do. So I literally replay the conversation in my head, and I ask myself, what could I have done better? And the conversation I just told you about with at the graduation party, I could have asked more brain dead questions. I could have breathed more fully. That's about it. Like, I needed to turn off my filter more and just say whatever comes to my mind. I needed to have the better mentality of not caring, because I'm never gonna, well, I probably will see that girl again, but not for a long time. So that's just what I need to do. Like, just turn off my brain, ask brain dead questions, and say them in a way that captivates or attention and exudes confidence, I'll say, not just acting like a shy person and asking these questions like, so if you had the choice, like, I mean, would you like coffee or tea? Like, just say it. Who cares if it's a weird question? What's the worst that can happen? They say ew and run away. Then yeah, then that's kind of awkward. But I frame it in this way. If anything awkward happens to me, I frame it as, okay, cool, that's a story that I can tell my friends or people for this channel. Like, it's a funny story and maybe it's relatable to some people. So I always reframe anything bad or awkward that happens to me as something that I can tell as a story. And maybe you can adopt that mindset too, as reframing things that are awkward that happen to you as a story. So don't beat yourself up. This is hard for me too. Like, once, you know how that thing when you, like, someone like says something to insult you or something, and then in the moment you like can't think of anything, and then when you get back home like 3 hours later, you're like, oh, I have this perfect comeback and I should have said that to them. Like, obviously you can't go back in time, so don't beat yourself up. because there's no point. Like, you can analyze your mistakes and be better for the future, but ultimately, like, you can't just keep dwelling on your mistakes. This is how you get discouraged, and this is how people just stop talking to people and be like, yeah, but I'm too awkward, I'm never gonna be confident or anything. So don't beat yourself up. You can analyze your mistakes, but don't every time just don't be like, all right, I'm never gonna talk to anyone again, this is too hard. Like, just keep trying. It's a skill. You'll only get better if you keep trying. That's the biggest lesson. So any opportunity you get to talk to someone new, I recommend you take it. Even if it's just saying, hey, like, how are you? Or like, what do you think of the weather? Like, just anything you say, you can reframe it as an opportunity to build your social skills. And if something weird or bad does happen, now it's a story. So it's a win-win-win-win situation. You can't slip up if you adopt the mindset of not taking anything personally, doing it for a story, or with the mindset of, I'm working on my skills. That's all you need to do. So that's almost the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I found it practical, but these are some bonus tips. So this is something I've done in the past. I should probably do it more, but it's to record yourself, like a mini vlog. No one's gonna see this. You can put it in like the hidden thing on your phone. Record yourself and just talk about anything, how your day was. So I usually talk about, so this thing's coming up, and I had this realization yesterday that when you do this, and blah blah blah. And it's actually, you'd be surprised about how well you can speak. Maybe when you first start off, if you're, I don't know, really socially anxious, then it's gonna be weird for you. But to me, I was actually surprised about how long I could keep talking for. And even this video, like, I haven't recorded a video in like over a month, I think, and I usually have to like pause the video after like 10-20 seconds of talking, but this is just a full-length guide. This is unedited, unpaused, and I've just been talking. I don't even know how long it's been, maybe like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, but I'm surprising myself right now as to how I can keep talking. So obviously, since I haven't made a video in like over a month, it's not going to be the highest quality, but I'm feeling good. Like, I'm surprised that I could keep talking for this long. So record yourself every night, keep practicing. There was this thing I saw on a podcast. It's where you can like get a friend and do like a fake podcast, like a 30-minute podcast of just you two talking about anything. You can just record yourself and your friend having a normal conversation, and you'll find that you're actually not that bad at speaking to people. It's just, you have the mentality when speaking to new people, it's like, oh my god, I need to make this person like me, I need to say all the right things. Like, when you're with your friends, you're the best speaker in the world, you're the most confident person in the world. So you just have to carry, if you can change the mindset, like to you speaking as well as you do with your friends to with new people, then you're just invincible. You're the best, most confident person ever. And second thing, self-image. This is kind of an odd tip, but it's to reframe your self-image as, I am the best person, and I am super confident, and I'm better. It's kind of weird to say, but maybe not that you're better than the person you're talking to, but just like, like, who wouldn't want to talk to me? Like, why wouldn't you want to be friends with me? Or, I'm just so cool. Like, if you reframe your mind, this is more of an advanced tip, but I'd recommend just starting out with conversation, asking brain dead questions. But once you kind of get good at this, you don't want to be arrogant per se, but you want to be confident enough to be very secure in yourself, so that you're not afraid or nervous if someone does reject you, because you're the best. So if someone rejects you, it's their loss. Like, that's the self-image thing. So action step is to go out and talk to random people. If you see someone in your class that you've never seen before or haven't talked to, just go up and introduce yourself. Be like, hey, I don't think we've met before. My name is blah, blah, blah. What's your name? And then ask a question, repeat the process. And this is every time you go and talk to someone new, it's building the skill of it's building your social skills. So if it goes horribly wrong, it's a story. It's a funny story to tell other people. If it goes great, then great. You increase your skill of talking to people, and you might have made a new friend. So that's the biggest thing I can tell you. I hope you enjoyed this full guide to talking to people. I'm kind of out of breath. I haven't done this in a while. It's early. I'm going to school soon. I'm actually graduating this week, so I have to write my graduation speech still. But yeah, if you enjoyed this and you enjoyed me making this guide, leave a comment, suggest anything, give me critiques of how I can make it better. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm Levi, and I'll see you next time.